Hi YouTube, it is Friday, and you guys are probably, most of you out there are probably saying, yay, it's Friday! But, I have a different outlook on that. On Friday, and Saturday and Sundays, I work. I go to work at a grocery store, which, is not the best, but it's alright, I guess. But then I like school way much more. I go to the school, of course, during the week. So Mondays to me are like Fridays, because I get to go to class, read all the time, and write all the time. So Mondays to me are like Fridays for other people, and Fridays to me are like Mondays for other people. So it's just kind of like that. But I was watching this video today. It's about what is philosophy. A guy on Twitter, his username is allfathertime. He tweeted one of my AJA articles or posts, and he also tweeted this video. So he talks about what philosophy is as a whole, and first, what I think philosophy is as a whole is going beyond first it's asking questions and going beyond what science can do. Like, we have science, we have psychology, and we have all these other fields that do things by testing hypotheses and theories and laws, like physics and all that stuff that basically I'm going to call psychology and all that stuff, and like medicine and all that stuff, into science. I'm going to call all that science. My opinion about philosophy is that philosophy is taken up by a lot of people because there are certain questions that science cannot answer. So we have certain branches of philosophy just because there are things that science has no place in answering. Like, is there a God? That's one big thing. That's what theology does, and metaphysics, I think, does. And it's like, can we know if there's a substance? Like I talked about not yesterday, but the day before, I talked about substance. And we can tell if there's atoms, we can tell that all the elements and stuff like that, but can we tell if there's one certain substance or mode or attribute, like all that stuff? We can't know that. Science can't tell us that stuff. So, or we can't figure out what's out there, We can't figure out all those different kinds of things. And, like, science can't figure out if there's a trope, like what tropes there are, and I'll explain tropes later. That's something different in metaphysics. But I think this guy really explains the different branches of philosophy well. I'll just play it.
Okay. Philosophers are interested in six big issues. The nature of the world and the existence of God, which is the domain of metaphysics. Mm-hmm. What are the right ways to think and build arguments, which are covered by logic? How do we know what we think we know, which is epistemology? How do we tell right from wrong, that is, ethics? What is the best form of government, a question appropriate for political philosophy? And what is beauty, which defines the field of aesthetics? There are also more specific branches of philosophy, such as philosophy of mind, philosophy of language, and philosophy of science.
Okay, beyond the branches, he was going into philosophy of language, philosophy of mind. That's quite specific, I think. There's philosophy of quantum mechanics, there's philosophy of law, there's philosophy of basically anything you can think of. But he had branches of philosophy. One was metaphysics, is what's out there in nature of God, like what is out there, basically. And then there was, I think he should have added theology into metaphysics. He should have said theology also, because I think theology is kind of a part of metaphysics, but he should have said theology too. I think metaphysics and theology is nature of God and nature of the world and what is out there and what everything that we can't know about. I think that metaphysics is a more specific definition of what science cannot define. epistemology, I think, is somewhat also is philosophy of the mind. And then another one he said was logic. Well, it was like logic is, it's like, I don't know how to explain it on video, but there's a page on my website that's called, looks like a little squiggly line and then F and then logic. So you can go there and figure that out. But it's just like, if P then Q, or it's like logical different kinds of things, and there's symbolic logic and stuff like that. But I don't really know what that matters to talking about right now, or how I can explain that on video, really. And then he said ethics was a big one. Was how do we tell right from wrong? I don't know very much about ethics very much, but I'm kind of getting more into it because I'm taking the first ethics class I've ever have taken right now. But I'm not really into ethics, but I think it's still kind of something that should be pondered. And then there was epistemology. How can we know what we know? Like, if I see something, did I see what I really thought I saw? Or when I see this book, is that the book or is that just sense data? What is that? Those are epistemological questions. Also, there was political philosophy, what's the best form of government. Plato did a lot of that in his Republic dialogue, of course, and let's see, there was a bunch of other ones that he was talking about. Philosophy of language is a big one, I think, too, but I think that, well, there's a different kind of philosophy. It's called Metaphilosophy. Metaphilosophy, I think, is what drives the force of what philosophy does. It sets goals for philosophy. It's like, what is philosophy trying to do now? It's like after Quine's after Willy Van Orman Quine's essay Epistemology Naturalized, he had to say, because he kind of made every epistemologist was saying nothing, so then he was like, where do we go now? So I think that's a meta-philosophical issue. So I think that this is a good video to have a basis of philosophy. He states it pretty well, so you can find that video somewhere. You can find that video here, right here. And what do you think philosophy is? I mean, I've been talking about it. This is my fourth day talking about it. So what do you think it is? I mean, what do you think it's for? Why do we engage in it? Why do we talk about things that are philosophical? I think that each person has, or each philosopher has their own definition, their own metaphilosophical or methodological definition of what philosophy is. So, oh, and by the way, I don't really have internet on Saturdays and Sundays, so I will make a video on Saturday and Sunday, but they won't be uploaded until either Sunday night or Monday morning. So I'll probably either have 2 videos on Sunday night or 3 videos on Monday, which will be the Saturday video, the Sunday video, and the Monday video. So I'll see you guys either on Sunday or Monday. Later.